Eddie Hearn says Joshua might not fight Wilder in April and may be forced to fight another mandatory. Stay tuned. Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We work in new media. I had to make this video. I just watched the interview with Eddie Hearn on Fight Hype. Link in the description so you can check it out verbatim. Now I'm going to paraphrase. Eddie Hearn said some very interesting things, and I'm going to break down what's happening here. It shouldn't take long. Eddie Hearn, in this interview, me paraphrasing, he basically said he reached out to Deontay Wilder. He can't get a hold of him. They're not responding to the emails. So after the Povetkin fight, if his fighter, Anthony Joshua, beats Povetkin, and he's the favorite to do so, if he beats Povetkin, he must be hasty, and he has about 3 to 4 weeks after the Povetkin fight to get the ball rolling. He says unifications supersede mandatories, but they only have a small window before a mandatory gets ordered, the WBO mandatory, right? So me doing what I do, new media work, investigating, I went to the WBO's website and I looked at their most current rankings for the heavyweight division as of August 2018, right? We're in the month of September. They don't have a more current updated. And I see precisely what's going on. Wilder's fighting Fury, which is definitely upstaging Joshua Povetkin, and a lot of people are saying the winner of Wilder Fury is the #1 heavyweight in the world, despite what Eddie Hearn or Joshua believes, right? Now he's saying that he reached out to Wilder and Wilder's not responding to the email. And he's trying to blame Wilder and saying, hey, we got to get the ball rolling because the WBO will order a mandatory. Now, I went to the rankings that the WBO, you'll be able to see on screen. And guess what? Joshua's the WBO champion, which we know. The #1 ranked person with the WBO right now is Alexander Povetkin, Joshua's opponent for next week, right? In at #2 is Dillian Whyte. So why in the fuck is Alexander Povetkin, who is fighting, who's also ranked with, I believe, the IBF, or the WBA, excuse me, I'm sorry, the WBA ordered it. Why wouldn't Joshua's upcoming fight satisfy 2 mandatories when the #1 person, as of the latest WBO rankings, is Alexander Povetkin? So that should kill 2 birds with 1 stone because you're fighting Povetkin and he's ranked higher than Dillian Whyte. But no, Eddie Hearn, they have some kind of scheme or plan, and now somehow this is only going to satisfy the WBA end, and the WBO is going to order that Joshua fights in April at Wembley. We know the venue already is already staged for Joshua's next fight. So if he beats Povetkin, who is the #1 current WBO highest ranking person, the #1 person, instead of it satisfying the WBA mandatory obligation and the WBO mandatory obligation, since he's ranked the highest, they're going to say that we're calling the WBO mandatory, which is, if Povetkin gets knocked off, I'm sure he gets dropped and he's not going to be #1 anymore. And then they're going to elevate Dillian Whyte to the #1 spot. So it looks like the stage is set for a Dillian Whyte rematch. And then they're going to use Wilder not responding to emails. Once again, the solution to all this is very simple. It's not rocket science. You don't have to be Elon Musk to understand what's going on here. Wilder has his own fight with Tyson Fury. He found a wild card and he found a way around Joshua to make a lot of money, get a lot of respect from boxing fan, and his own tough fight. So I understand why he's not negotiating or responding to emails, because he already found a big fight that gets him a lot of respect against the lineal champion, and he has to prepare and fully immerse himself in that, right? And also, we don't know what happens in Joshua Povetkin fight. So what's the point to negotiate for April for either guy, right? But they're going to use this to blame Wilder, and it looks like the WBO already has the notion that instead of Povetkin, who's fighting Joshua, the champion, next week, instead of that fight taking care of both mandatories, they're going to say it took care of only the WBA mandatory. And then if Povetkin gets knocked off and loses to Joshua, which he is the underdog in that fight, then they're gonna move Dillian Whyte to number 1 and say, oh, we're calling the WBO mandatory. So it's gonna be another built-in excuse why the winner of Wilder Fury doesn't fight Joshua in April, and why they make Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte. I mean, it's very clear to see. And Eddie Hearn sounds really delusional. It's a very bad look for Joshua's team right now. Barry Hearn already told you the blueprint. We don't care if he ever fights him in the next 10 years. We don't care if Joshua fights Wilder, right? I told him to wait, build it up, don't fight him immediately. They keep acting like they want to fight Wilder. Oh, we want him. They're both, Eddie Hearn and Joshua, believe Wilder beats Fury. So even though the fight hasn't happened and you know, Fury could pull an upset or whatnot, they in their heart believe that Wilder wins. And somehow, some way, you believe he's going to win. That's not next for April. And then they're going to try to say, if he gets past Povetkin, that he has to fight Dillian Whyte. It makes no sense, people. Why would the WBO not accept next week's fight as a mandatory defense when Povetkin currently is the number 1 highest rated person? Why would they wait for Povetkin to potentially lose if he loses, and then call for the WBO fight and say, oh, Povetkin fight you just fought last week or 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago doesn't count. You got to fight Dillian Whyte because now he's ranked number 1. I mean, this is beyond comical at this point. So Wilder Fury is the number 1 heavyweight in the world. I see the games that they're playing. Eddie Hearn in this Fight Hype interview says, guess what? He says Wilder Fury establishes the number 2. I 1000% disagree. Wilder Fury is the number 1 heavyweight. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.